This boy is forced to take care of everything by himself while his ignorant father stays busy with his useless space experiments. One day, the boy finally meets some unknown creatures who offer to give him a new home. This is Luis, a sweet young boy whose life is full of hardships. Regardless of his daily struggles, Luis never let anyone take pity on him. His classmates don't even know what he has been going through. While on his 4-day school trip, Luis gets interviewed by his crush Jennifer and her friend Patty. It's a great chance to interact with Jennifer, but Luis gets really nervous in front of her. Moreover, the school bully Marlon steals one of Luis's shoes and keeps tossing it here and there. After a long bus ride, the kids finally reach the school where their parents are anxiously waiting for them. One by one, all the kids get picked up except for Luis. The school principal gets worried because Luis's dad often forgets to pick him. However, Luis seems calm and ties the luggage to his broken bicycle. The principal feels sorry for Luis and offers to give him a ride, but Luis immediately refuses. He gets on the broken bicycle and rushes home. On the way, he meets the kind ice cream man who advises Luis to get a new bicycle. But Luis says that his dad will get a new bicycle on his birthday tomorrow. As soon as Luis reaches home, Marlon's dad, Mr. Winter, starts complaining about Luis's worn-out house. It is ruining the image of the whole neighborhood. He has even submitted a complaint to the block association that will take serious actions against Luis's house. Poor Luis doesn't say anything in reply and gets inside his house. It is totally messed up because Luis's dad, Armin Sontag, never bothered to do any chore. He's an unsuccessful ufologist who spends all night researching space and sleeps through the whole day. Armin is obsessed with aliens and determined to do anything to prove their existence. He is so busy with his experiments that he doesn't even realize that Luis had gone for a 4-day school trip. Poor Luis doesn't even mind anymore because he has learned to do everything by himself. He cleans up the house, puts everything in place, cooks food for his dad, and bakes a birthday cake. Luis reminds Armin about the electricity bills in the trash. If they aren't paid this month, the electricity will be cut off. Armin doesn't even listen to him and keeps staring at the sky. When Luis gets frustrated, his dad starts telling him the same alien story for the 1000th time. When Armin was just 7, he saw a monstrous alien and told everyone about it. When no one believed him, Armin decided to dedicate his whole life to find that alien. After his wife's death, his obsession grew even stronger, and he ignored everything else. Right in front of Luis's house, Marlon is living the perfect life with a happy family who start the day by having breakfast together. Meanwhile, Luis bakes his own cake and waits for his dad to wish him a happy birthday. Armin asks the boy to close his eyes for the big surprise. But instead of a birthday gift, Armin shows a report of his latest discovery. After sending millions of signals in space, he finally got something in return. He doesn't even remember Luis's birthday and keeps celebrating his own success. He's really happy today and tells Luis to ask for anything he wants. After a pause, Luis wishes for his dad to have a normal job like others' dads. Before Armin can reply, he notices 2 kids with alien masks outside his house. Without a second thought, Armin grabs his freezing gun and runs to catch the so-called aliens. After accidentally freezing a poor bird, Armin screams to inform the whole neighborhood about the aliens. The citizens get really angry and call Armin a crazy man with a weird obsession. They even call the child service because they don't think Armin is fit enough to raise his own kid. However, Armin is not totally wrong. The aliens do exist, and they know everything about the human world. One of them, named Mog, develops a way to catch TV signals from Earth and calls his friends Nog and Wabu to watch them. After swiping through different channels, they come across an advertisement about a massage mat. The aliens immediately get hooked by the product details and wish to have one of those massage mat. Wabu and Mog rush towards the mini spaceship so they can travel to Earth, but Nog doesn't think it's a great idea. They don't know Earthlings, and what if they are dangerous? Despite his warning, the other 2 aliens drag Nag in the spaceship and they travel towards Earth. Meanwhile, Luis packs a piece of his birthday cake and goes to school. He wants to give the cake to Jennifer, but before he can, Marlon snatches it away. Luis tries to protest, but Marlon's friends throw him in the trash bin. After a while, Jennifer arrives to talk about how the school news club doesn't accept her, but Luis believes she deserves way more than that. She gets happy to hear this and offers to help Luis in getting out of the bin, but Luis tries to be independent. Before he can go to the class, the principal stops Luis and introduces him to Ms. Deacon Dacre. She's the headmistress of a child care center for neglected kids, but looks really creepy. Mr. Winter has informed the principal about the substandard conditions of Luis's house and questionable activities of his dad. As there's no other relative to take care of Luis, the best option for him is the care center. Luis refuses to cooperate, but the principal clearly says that he wants to see Armin to discuss what's best for Luis. The poor boy rushes home and begs his dad to do something. He doesn't want to live the life of an orphan. Armin doesn't even listen attentively and keeps sleeping. Suddenly, the alien detector starts beeping, and Luis spots a spaceship landing just a few miles away from his house. The aliens have chosen this spot because they detected the signals sent by armies. As soon as they land, the aliens start arguing and blame each other for the damage caused to the spaceship. Luis keeps staring at them from afar and gets happy to realize that his dad is not crazy. Suddenly, the aliens spot the boy and try threatening him. When they make sure Luis is harmless, the aliens start asking him about the massage mat and how to get one. Luis is really confused because he never imagined aliens like this. Before he analyzes this matter, Luis needs to hide the spaceship from the sight of other human beings. After putting it in the nearby barn, Luis starts asking the aliens about their journey. He can't believe such an exciting thing is happening on his birthday. Hearing this, the aliens wish him a birthday and start singing their own version of a birthday song. Afterward, they leave the barn to accomplish their mission of getting the massage mat. Luis tries to stop them, but they have already reached the neighborhood. Mr. and Mrs. Winter is going to their daughter's play, so the aliens decide to sneak into their house to watch the television. Luis rushes home to wake up his dad, but before telling him anything, Luis asks what will Armin do if the aliens ever land on Earth. Armin immediately says that he will freeze them with his gun because the aliens can never be nice. Even if they look friendly, they will eventually take over Earth and enslave the humans. Luis doesn't want to hurt the poor aliens, so he doesn't tell anything to his dad. He also grabs the alien detector and hides it in the lower drawer. Suddenly, the phone starts ringing and Luis hides in the room to answer it. It's the principal asking about the appointment. Luis pretends to be his dad, but the principal catches him and gets really angry. He decides to visit Luis by himself, and if he finds the smallest sign of neglect, Armin's custody of his son will be removed on the spot. Meanwhile, the aliens are exploring Marlon's house. They finally succeed in turning on the television and find the massage mat advertisement. They try to order the mat but don't know how to use the phone. Luckily, Luis arrives and the aliens beg him to order a massage mat. After completing the order, Luis asks the aliens to let him hide with them so the principal can't take him away to the care center. The aliens immediately agree and ask Luis to have some lunch because he hasn't eaten anything since morning. Suddenly, the door opens and the housemaid arrives for her cleaning shift. Nog and Mog run to hide in the bathroom along with Luis, but the maid reaches there too. Before she can open the door, the aliens use the DNA from hair strands to transform into Mr. and Mrs. Winter. The maid doesn't suspect them at all and goes back to the living room. Wabu is still there, but he uses the dog's hair to transform into him. At first, the maid plays with him, but then Wabu starts talking. The maid gets confused and asks Mr. Winter for help, but he starts telling her about the qualities of the massage mat. The maid gets scared and pokes the dog with her broomstick, but Wabu turns back into an alien. The maid falls unconscious on the floor, and the aliens are free to do anything they want. Little does they know, Marlon is at home. He comes downstairs talking on his phone and mentions stealing his mother's car to drive around with his friends. Marlon suddenly notices Luis hiding behind the curtains and accuses him of killing the maid. Thankfully, the aliens arrive as Mr. and Mrs. Winter and start scolding Marlon. They act like strict parents and lock Marlon in his room. Till the mat is delivered, the aliens want to keep playing this human game and Luis has the perfect task for them. The principal will be arriving at any moment. The aliens swap Luis's house number with Marlon's, so they can impress the principal with the high standard lifestyle. Mog uses Armin's hair to take his form, while Nag and Wabu become the maids. After a while, the principal arrives with Miss Deacon-Daker, but gets impressed to see the beautiful house. Mog performs really well as Armin, and satisfies the principal with all of his answers. However, Miss Deacon-Dakers is not approving without seeing Luis's room. The poor boy doesn't know much about Marlon's house and tries to find a suitable room. Unfortunately, all he finds is Marlon's little sister's room. Miss Deacon-Dakers immediately understands it can't be a boy's room, and she starts questioning everything. Luis gets another idea and says that he is temporarily staying in his sister's room. His dad values his choices, so he's designing a new room for Luis. Saying this, Luis starts talking about the qualities of his dad, but none of them are true. Luckily, the principal gets satisfied and closes this custody case. Before they can leave, the real Armin wakes up and notices the smoke coming from the alien detector. He immediately grabs his gun and jumps on the streets. Miss Deacon-Dakers spots him and stares back at Luis. Now the only option left is to run away from the back door. They encounter the ice cream man, who starts investigating the matter. He not only sells ice creams, but also uses hidden cameras to keep an eye on the neighborhood. When Luis finds no escape, he hides in the drainage and reaches the middle of the town, but Miss Deacon-Dakers follows them everywhere. Luckily, there's a supermarket nearby, which can be a good hiding spot. The aliens are really frustrated by the behavior of humans and want to return home as soon as possible. Hearing this, Luis asks if he can join them too. He doesn't have any family or friends, so it's better to live with the aliens who actually care for him. It will not be easy for aliens to convince their boss, but they are willing to try. Wabu even decides to celebrate getting a new friend, and he swallows 2 bottles of cold drink. His body swells and scares a small child. She starts crying and catches the attention of everyone. While the aliens are fighting over the grocery, the headmaster reaches there with Miss Deacon-Dakers and threatens to punish Luis in the worst way. Luis tries running away, but Jennifer and Patty get in his way. Before they can ask any questions, the aliens grab Luis and use the hanging lights to escape the supermarket. The next place they choose is a hair salon. The aliens use the hair strands to change into different humans and pretend to be salon workers. They force the headmaster and Miss Deacon-Dakers to get a haircut, but they only wanted to annoy them with a weird hairstyle. Afterward, they return to their spaceship and try to escape this planet as soon as possible. Unfortunately, the spaceship stops working. Mog starts repairing it and finds the faulty part, but he has opened up the whole spaceship and doesn't know how to put it back together. The aliens start panicking, but Luis asks them to think wisely. His dad has made a bunch of weird devices to connect with aliens, and one of them may help in sending signals to the mothership. In this way, the aliens can ask their boss to pick them up. The aliens like the plan, and they all head to Luis's house. They accidentally find Armin's childhood drawing and recognize the creature as an alien named Tauntonian. Maybe Armin's story was real, but Luis doesn't have time to investigate that and runs upstairs to the lab. Mog fixes up the communication device and requests the mothership to pick them. Now they need to find a good spot where the mothership can land. Luis chooses the Dragon Peaks, where no one likes going. Suddenly, Armin reaches home and checks his lab, but fortunately he doesn't catch the aliens. Once Armin leaves, Luis packs up his things and leaves a goodbye letter for his dad. The aliens steal Mr. Winter's car, but they don't know how to drive it. Luis gets an idea and asks the aliens to transform into Mr. and Mrs. Winter. They go in the house again and tells Marlin that he is not grounded anymore. It's time for a family road trip to recover their bond. They let Marlin drive and head to the Dragon Peaks. After a while, the real Mr. and Mrs. Winter arrive and look for their son. Before they can figure out anything, Armin knocks at their door with the news reporters. The maid told him everything, and he mistakes Mr. Winter as one of the aliens. Once Armin realizes his mistake, he lets Mr. Winter go and reporters leave too. A neighbor saw Luis's car and immediately tells Armin everything. Miss Deacon-Dakers and the headmaster return as well and look for a car to follow the kids. Suddenly, the delivery guy arrives with the massage mat and everyone gets in his truck. They follow the kids to the Dragon Peaks, but another truck blocks their way. Meanwhile, Marlin starts feeling suspicious of the aliens and asks Luis what's going on. Moreover, Jennifer and Patty are hiding in the back seat because they have already seen the aliens. Luis finally reveals the whole truth and asks his classmates to help the aliens go back home. Before they can climb up the peaks, Miss Deacon-Dakers and others reach there and start looking for the kids. Suddenly, the giant mothership arrives and shines down a beam of light to pick up the aliens. Leos rushes towards it, but Armin stops him and threatens to freeze the aliens. Leos gets really angry and chooses the aliens over a father who doesn't even know his birthday. All Armin cares about is the stupid experiments, not his son getting taken away by the child care center. Hearing this, Armin regrets his behavior and begs Leos for a second chance. He promises to become a better dad. Before Leos can reply, Miss Deacon-Dakers snatches the gun and asks Leos to come with her. Suddenly, the ice cream man arrives and reveals that Miss Deacon-Dakers is also an alien who sells human tears on her planet. That's why she keeps all the lonely kids in her center. The ice cream man is an alien himself who was tasked to find Miss Deacon-Dakers. Hearing this, Miss Deacon-Dakers finally takes her true form, that's a Tauntonian. She's the alien Armin saw in his childhood. Mog and others rush to the spaceship and ask Luis to join them, but Luis can't leave his dad in danger. Armin asks him to increase the power of the freeze gun, but before Luis can do that, the Tauntonian traps him under the rocks. The ice cream man and others try to arrest the Tauntonian, but she's way too powerful. Seeing their friend in danger, the aliens run back and take Luis' form. They distract the Tauntonian and Luis freezes her with a powerful shot. The ice cream man is going to take her to the official alien jail, but Jennifer has recorded enough videos to prove what just happened. Luis gives the massage mat to his alien friends and thanks them for everything they did. However, he can't join them because now he has a loving family and caring friends. After returning home, Armin repairs his house and spends most of the time with his son. For his career, he writes a book about aliens that sells like hot buns. In short, the sweet aliens helped Luis in getting a better life.